about some image options. So you'll see here, this is a kind of a layout for an offer that I made just for this project here. It's also a coupon kind of layout, follows that same principle. We've got our dotted line, we've got our image, we've got our our primary offering. We've got our text of what the offering is. This is service savings, what kind of service, oil and oil filter change. Got a little bit more information about it. Again, we're talking about information hierarchy, which is the most important thing, which is the second and third and so on. Of course, we got our button. It's our call to action. Go do this. Is order now the best text? We could ask that. That's not what I want to cover now. Of course, we've got our disclaimer text and our expiration date. You notice that this is stacked in that kind of columnar view. It's one table, and inside of it are probably some other tables, but it's primarily just a bunch of things inside of a box. And you'll notice as we look at the code that we've got our outer table, but then we've got one more inner table, and then we have stacks of tables, table to table, and then another table. This has got a small table inside of it. That's our button. And then we've got that last table ends, right here. All right. One quick aside, let me show you this real quick. If we hop over here, one reason why I really like Sublime is if you notice these lines that go up and down. If you enlarge the video, you should be able to see these lines. If some point you're trying to find something in your text, this is that exact same code in your text or your code, you can go find the level of line that you're at and then scroll with your cursor in the same spot, and you will be like, oh, hey, this is the table I was looking for. Or you go, I know it's inside of one of those tables. Hey, this is inside of one of those tables. So you can, when you format and keep your formatting using tools like Free Formatter, that would be this right here, your code will stay nice and neat. Of course, inside of CodePen, when you've got things squashed in, it does tend to push the text over a little bit. So, like I said, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about image variety. Here I'm using this image, which is a PNG file. Who cares what a PNG file is? If you want to know, it's portable network graphic. But why is a PNG, a portable network graphic, different? Well, let me show you something real quick. You'll notice that this background has a slight grayish tinge, whereas this is bright white, this is slightly gray. It's not that noticeable. But let's change it to something like, I don't know, let's go slightly darker. If we go slightly darker, you notice that my background image changes and it actually shows through on the image. A PNG file, PNG graphic, portable network graphic, if you want to call it that, has transparency so that the background color shines through, the background color of the page shines through the image. You can get some pretty interesting and fun design elements with that in mind. So if you're trying to get something that looks like it's actually setting on top of the background of your page, use a PNG file. PNG files can have transparency. They don't all have transparency. It's just a file type like a JPEG or a GIF. But PNGs permit you to have transparency. So again, if we come back in, and by the way, you notice I only typed 3 of those numbers, because if all of the numbers are identical, you can leave out the other 3, because every hexadecimal code is actually two two-digit numbers. And in this case, I'm leaving out the third, the second in those. So in this case, I'm going to change it to, we can change it to this, and you'll notice I get that purple color, or this might be a slightly more brown or beige color. And then if we go back to our other color. Now we've got a gray of some sort. If we change that to E7, 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 you'll notice it gets darker, just a touch darker, kind of creates that illusion that it's part of the background. So try that out. Go find yourself a PNG file. The way you're going to do that is you are going to do a search for, in this case I did a search for Ford trucks. I clicked on this one. Here, let's click on this one real quick. So you notice this one, it just looks like a white background. But it says it's a PNG image. I just clicked on it. I was like, oh, check it out. It's transparent. However, it's like, oh, well, this one must be transparent also. Maybe, but I believe that this one, the checkered background, is actually part of the image. So you got to be careful. Not all checkered backgrounds disappear. Normally, when you notice that it's an actual transparent background, is you will see a white background in the preview image, but when you click on it, the checkered background appears. Again, this one's a white background. Let's try this one. Nope. So sometimes you can actually type in on a, let's see here, transparent background. That's Ford logo on a transparent background, so we should be able to get that. So here I click on this one and the background disappears. So that's kind of how you do that search if you're wanting to add that as an element to your design.